very successful businessman, an elite cricketer, he's an author, and we're really happy to have him here, and I'm looking forward. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, put it up, Simon Frayne. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you, JR. It's working. That's indeed me. Well, what a pleasure it is to see a bunch of smiling faces out here that have invested their Saturday afternoon in the potential, the possibility to be able to take something away that could very well change your lives. So, how are we going with that level?
You don't need it.
I might not need it, but I'll go on. So first of all, congratulations for coming down here this afternoon. I didn't actually stand, well, that's all right, it's okay. Yeah, so congratulations for coming on down here. As introduced, I'm a management consultant and a business consultant. I'm an author. My business and my business partner, Daniel down the back, say hello to Daniel, that's Dangerous Dano. We specialise in multiplying businesses' profits, yeah, getting people more cash. We also specialise in developing value in businesses. Yeah? So when the owner goes to sell, he's selling for a lot rather than a little, and that happens too often, sadly. But we also, very importantly, and this is critical, we help business owners spend less time in their business. Because business is not about being trapped, it's not about being enslaved, it's not about being an employee. It's about crafting the life that you want, yeah, and following your dreams. So, for curiosity, by way of show of hands, who is a business owner in this room? Fantastic. Okay. Of those that didn't have hands up, who desires to be a business owner in the future? Right, so at some stage during that process, everybody should have had a hand up, because business is the key to wealth and freedom. Not just wealth, but freedom. Firstly, on the wealth front, it's quite obvious and clear that the people with the bucks are business owners. They're business owners, many, many multiple times more wealthy than executives and professionals. I've been a professional and an executive, and it sucks, because you've got to turn up to do the job. Yeah? Clever business people aren't there doing it. They've got it under management. So business is the key, and I'd like for you all to really think about how you're going about that, because everybody's got a possibility to live the life of their dreams. Now, as spoken about today, we are here to celebrate the genius of Steve Jobs and the other crazy ones who've had the guts, the ticker, the fortitude, the stones to follow their dreams, to be themselves. It's actually that thing about them that has allowed them to make the sort of contribution that they have to planet Earth and mankind. So that's what we're on about today. It's all about that. So what does it take to drive a successful business, to build a successful business? What does it take? It's a mystery. Well, it takes a bunch of things, but first of all, undeniably, irrefutably, categorically, it takes a vision. All the great business guys, Jobs included, Gatesy, line them all up, they've all got a big, bold vision, and it's got clarity about it. It allows you to start with the end in mind. You've got to know where you're shooting, you've got to know the outcome, you've got to know where you're going. Yeah, so a vision is absolutely critical. As Cara said previously, congratulations Cara, you're on the ball. So you've got to have a vision, and as the modern day philosopher John Demartini, if any of you guys have heard of this fella, he's got a great quote which says, "Those with a vision flourish, and those without a vision perish." Never a truer word said. So talking about Steve Jobs, he had a belief that he had the fundamental belief in the innate creativity of individuals. Yeah? And he said that 1,000 people with microcomputers will always outperform one person with a supercomputer. Yeah? He saw a world where everybody would have a personal computer, you know, and they'd all be connected. Bear in mind, this is in the 1970s. 1970s, a computer landscape against which there was one player, IBM, Big Blue, dominating the horizon of computing. Yeah, and they built supercomputers the size of this room to perform what an abacus can, and maybe a bit more advanced. But, you know, and it wasn't for normal people, it wasn't for the folk like us, it was for boffins and propeller heads, you know, people doing very scientific stuff, and making, you know, not for the normal people, that's not for you, you stay back there, bird. So, Jobs had this vision, and where are we today? We've all got a computer in our pocket. Yeah, we're all connected. The size of his vision was awesome. It was extraordinary. Look, that's not to say that we all have to have a vision that significant and that bold and that world-changing to do what you need to do. But you need a vision to know where you're going. He was that far-seeing and far-reaching in his view that he literally changed the world. He saw the future and he created the future. Extraordinary guy, one in a 9 billion. But for everybody else, you need a vision for your life, for your business. If you don't got one, you're a vehicle without wheels. You're going nowhere. So, look, vision is only the start of the journey. It's critical to have. If you don't have one, you're not in the race. If you do have one, you're in the race, but you're not going to get there with vision alone. What do you need? You need strategies. You need strategy of how to get to your vision. Now I could talk about strategy till the cows come home. We're limited for time today. I'm mindful of giving you guys, empowering you guys with some tools today that you can take away, particularly the business owners, but those that aren't business owners yet will be a field ahead when they're aware of these things. It's what management consultants do when they go into businesses. Yeah, so there's 5 profit drivers in every business. Doesn't matter what the business is. You can be delivering pumpkins to the markets, you can be a hairdresser, a mechanic, you can be an international management consultant, you can be a boil squeezer or a toe washer. Doesn't matter. These 5 things apply to all businesses. So get ready, if you digest nothing else that I say today, this is what you've got to remember. So the first, I feel like saying colour around, there's a secret to be told here. The first profit driver is increasing the number of your customers. Number of customers. Pretty damn obvious, you're saying. Of course you've got to increase the number of customers that you've got. Am I stupid? Well, it is pretty obvious, but what's not so obvious is how people go about doing this. Not many businesses have got a really good understanding, or too many don't, should I say, of who their customer is and how to get them in. There's a myriad of ways as how to win customers. Too many businesses have 1 or 2 streams, and that's the way they've done it, and that's the way we know it, so that's all they do. So, look, I've got a handout. Daniel, if you can pass them around the crowd. These are about the profit drivers, but it talks about lead generation strategies and conversion strategies, in amongst all the others. But look, I've got to apologise, there's only 25 of them. Don't peck each other's eyes out trying to get them. If you want one, you don't get one, send me an email, I'll sort you out. So the first one is increasing customers. I won't go on any more about that. Second one is increasing the average value of sale. Yeah? So when you've got a customer through the door, it's easy to sell to somebody that's already there rather than try and drum up another customer. So this is downselling, upselling, cross-selling, you know, making up something to sell while they're there. It's 7 times more expensive and time-consuming to win a new customer rather than selling stuff to existing customers. So who can think of an example? Like, we'll go to the fast food world. Who can think of a average value of sale increase? Anybody with any ideas? I'm thinking of somebody.
Fries.
Ronald McDonald and his Archers. What a genius. Do you want fries with that and a touch of atherosclerosis, sir? Of course I do. You know, I wasn't thinking about fries, but yes, with some fries. I'll get to heaven quicker. And it doesn't cost any more for a bit of potato for Ronald. Yeah, but he's making, say if it's $6 worth of burger, I don't know what it is, I don't patronise Ronald's establishment, but it might be $1 for extra for the chips. He's getting a heap of dollars down straight onto the profit line for a little couple extra potatoes. Genius. And look, there's something in every business where you can do that. You can have a dog washing business, say, and you know, Mr. Dog Washer gets $50, $40, whatever he gets when he rocks up and cleans a dog. He could have, for example, a pooch pack, you know, where you get some scissors and some grooming stuff to make your dog look good. Go down well in London or New York, I'm not sure about Perth. Just hose it down. But if he can sell it for $18, he's getting it for $3, you know, if he's making significant extra dollars for not really doing anything. Quite powerful. The next significant profit driver is increasing the number of times your customer comes back. You know, so the classic example of this is, say, your hairdresser. Say your hairdresser has on average people come back every 6 weeks. If you can get people to come back every 3 weeks, you have doubled your money, you haven't had to get a new customer, you haven't had to sell anything else. You know, great stuff. And you can see if you can blend a few of these together, really powerful stuff. You're making a lot more money very, very quickly. Fourth profit driver, leaving the pause for effect, costs. You've got fixed costs, you've got variable costs. Fixed are kind of fixed, like rent, software licenses, gear like that. You've got variable costs, which vary with the scale of production. Yeah, so cutting costs is all well and good, but it's quite dangerous. It's often where accountants start when they want to make more profit. Not besmirching accounts. If there's any in the room, I started as an accountant, don't hold it against me. But if you cut all the costs out of your business, you might cut the engine out of your vehicle. You know, you might all of a sudden be in a Freddie Flintstone foot-driven Mobile instead of a V12 supercharged Formula One vehicle. Very different. So you've got to be careful as to what you're cutting out. Costs. Fifth one is processes. So all of business is process. Every business, by definition, does stuff time and time and again. You know, making chips, burgers, washing the dog, whatever it is. You do the same thing time and time again. So a business is a collection of processes, and whether it's paying your people, getting work, doing training, you know, if you can make more efficient everything that you do, you're going to make more money. Yeah, so process is the other one. So that's the mechanics of making profit, the mechanics. It's not too hard, it's not rocket science, everybody can do it. Everyone in this room can do that, I'm pretty sure. But the geniuses of the world, the crazy ones like our mate Steve, they do something else. They've got something else. It's desire, it's drive, it's wanting it bad enough. You know, how many people know somebody that wants something? You know, they want more money, or they want a better looking girlfriend, or they want a trip to Europe. They don't get off their backside and do anything about it, but they're happy to complain and moan. Maybe we all know somebody like this. But it doesn't get you anywhere. The people that go places are keen to get there. They're doing stuff every day. And you know, one of my pet peeves is a common misconception that comfort and ease equals happiness. Comfort and ease equals happiness. This is what the the herd thinks. And it's, I'll let you know a secret, it's crap. That's a technical term. It's rubbish. Comfort and ease equals lethargy, laziness and mediocrity. You look at anyone that's going off in their life, they're excited, they're doing great things, they're climbing mountains, they're doing Steve's stuff, or over 10th of Steve's stuff. Mate, these people push boundaries. Yeah, they step outside their comfort zone. They get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what leads to greatness. Yeah? There's a speaker in America, I've only learned of this dude in the last year, black guy, super charismatic, he's not like most speakers, he's off the cuff. You know, he was born, he's an orphan, and he was told he was mentally retarded, never going to make it. He's the highest paid speaker in the world now, a guy called Les Brown, super cool cat. At the end of most of his addresses, he comes good with this foray of words that's just magnificent. I committed it to memory, I was so impressed. And it's about hunger. He talks about, are you hungry, mate? You got to be hungry. If you ain't hungry, you ain't going nowhere, man. And he produces the following. If you want a thing bad enough, then go out and fight for it. To work day and night for it. To give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it. And if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want, with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish or gold, sickness or pain of body or brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besieged and beset, with the help of God you'll get. You've got to be hungry. referring to God. America's a pretty religious place. You may be religious, you may be not. I'm personally not. It doesn't matter to me. What he really meant was belief. Belief is an extraordinary thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you have belief, you can do just about anything. People with belief don't see barriers. People with belief go straight through. People with belief don't listen to all the mediocre herd that's telling you can't do it. You know. If you listen to most people, you can't do anything. Belief is so... And if you don't have belief, you can have the greatest vision, you can have the best strategies, you can be willing to get off your ass and have a crack, you can work your arms down to the elbows. But if you don't believe in the possibility, at least, of getting where you're going to want to get, you're probably going to fall short. You're probably going to be disappointed. So, how do you generate this ephemeral, elusive belief? How do you do it? Well, it's actually been known for thousands of years. Religions know how to do it. It's by repeated suggestion. It's auto-suggestion. Deeper than that, it's how you talk to yourself. Yeah? Whether we know it or not, you've got a voice in your head that's always talking. It's probably going off right now. What's this idiot talking about, voice in my head? You know, I've got three. It's Sammy's schizophrenia over here. He's got voices everywhere. You've got a voice in your head, and most people's voice in their head is quite negative. You can't do it, you're too fat, you're too slow, your mother said you can't do it, you know, oh, I'm not good enough, it's too hard, it's too long, it's just too much. That's what most people's voices are saying, and they shrink away to some tiny little infinitesimal little block of nothing. The crazy ones, on the other hand, they nurture seeds of belief. They'll place something in their mind, and they'll feed that like a plant or a love or whatever it is, to keep telling themselves. You craft your own affirmations. You know, you manufacture your affirmations that are attached to your goals, and you say them just after you wake up and just before you go to sleep. That's when your subconscious mind is active. Your subconscious mind runs the show. You know, you think your conscious mind does? It doesn't. You know, the programs that you got up to the age of 6 or 7, you know, if your mum told you you can't do it, oh, I can't do it, that's proliferated your whole life, sadly. So, you get affirmations going and get new beliefs. You know, Steve didn't care what the rest of the world thought. He was living in mates' dorms, sleeping on the floor, inventing sans serif font. It got him somewhere in the end. The greatest exponent of belief generation that I have ever seen, he knew about heat. I can see people sweating. This dude knew about heat. Damn hot in there, I know. But the greatest exponent of affirmations and building belief that I've ever seen, might have been the greatest exponent of it, including all the religious gurus, was an athlete. He did his best work in the 1960s and 70s. He's definitely one of the crazy ones. In fact, he was just up here. He was calling himself the greatest long before anybody else recognised him as the greatest. Anyone know who I'm talking about? Muhammad Ali. Pick a cooler cat if you can. Everyone acknowledged him as the greatest athlete. Mate, I reckon he was one of the greatest orators, comedians and personalities in history. The guy was extraordinary. You know, in his first major title fight, he's fighting a guy called Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was like a big version of Tyson. Worked for the mob, intimidate the hell out of people out of the ring and then back the hell out of them in the ring. The young Cassius Clay, mate, he looked like a 400-metre runner or something. He didn't even look like he belonged in the ring. His mouth was going 100 miles an hour. Man, I'm too fast. How's that big ugly bear going to get me, man? I'm too fast. I'm too pretty. Man, I had 100 amateur fights and 72 professional fights. No, maybe 22. And I'm pretty as a girl. I don't even get hit. I'm too fast. He ain't going to, man, it won't even be a match. And he'd go on and on and on and on like this. People thought he was insane. People thought he was going to get killed. Of course, he won. He won in 8, and he made a fool of Liston. Liston would look like this old silly duffer that had come from the bar stool. Clay completely transformed sport, not just boxing. But the day before the fight, as the media always would, they'd corral him, try and make a fool of him, because he'd always be getting on top of them. I'm too smart for you as well as too fast for you. You know, he's an uneducated kid from Louisville, Kentucky, outdoing you in every way. They came up, stuck a microphone in his face and, you know, isn't Sonny looking good, man? He's ugly, he's too slow, man. He came good with the following. This is a 21-year-old dyslexic guy. Aren't these dyslexic guys smart? Brilliant. He comes good with the following. For those of you who won't be able to be at the fight, here is the 8th round, exactly what will happen. Clay comes out to meet Liston, and Liston starts to retreat. If Liston goes back any farther, he'll end up in the ringside seat. Clay swings with his left, Clay swings with his right. Look at young Cassius carry the fight. Liston keeps backing, but there's not enough room. It's a matter of time. Hurricane goes a boom. Now Liston gets a personal view. The crowd is getting frantic, but our radar stations have picked him up. He's somewhere over the Atlantic. Who'd have thought when they came here tonight that they'd witness the launching of a human satellite? For who would have dreamed when they put down their money that they would witness the total eclipse of the sun? That, my friends, is belief talking. He would have said that to himself more than once, I can promise you. I was a gog, I was bereft. I'm thinking, man, this, I knew he's, pretty limber off the tongue, but that was something. And belief is everything. If you can generate belief in what you're doing, you can do anything. And you look at the people that do the greatest things, some of these people have usually come from the biggest challenges. And they've generated belief. They put the blinkers on. They've shut out what every other idiot's telling them that you can't. Will you shut up? Tell the voice to shut up. Put something else in there. Belief is so important. So just in summary, vision. You need a vision. You need clear vision. You need details in your vision. And you need to feed it every day. Consider it every day. Force it into your subconscious mind till it becomes reality. Yep. You need strategy as to how to get to your vision. You need to work on these strategies every day until they become fibre of your being. Yep. You need to want it bad enough. So check your desire from time to time. If you don't have strong enough desire, it's likely that you're not in the right game. If you're in the right caper, desire is strong. You love doing what you're doing. It's not work because you do it for nothing. Adam Gilchrist would have played cricket for 50 grand a year. Jobs, his house, you go into his house, there's no furniture. So, belief, it's the last one. Get belief. So look, I hope if you can get a minuscule bit of nano value out of that which I've delivered today, then great. But I've got one final quote for you. It comes from another fighting philosopher. His name's Bruce Lee. I only learned this yesterday, but I was very impressed, which was adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add specifically what is your own. You can apply that to anything in life, your business, your sport, anything, to get to be what you want to be. So thanks for your time. Congratulations on being here.